the way that Mark Pope is diving in analytically, the style he's bringing, like the way that they're just doing everything under him. It really feels like it's a successful recipe. They obviously packed up Lipscomb. I've used packed up twice now, but that's what happened. That's a solid Lipscomb team. From what you've seen of Kentucky in this style and the way that they're playing, how successful do you see them being over the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be ahead of schedule compared to a lot of teams around the country just because of their age. They're going to be, I look at Mark Pope and him putting together this roster, coming to Kentucky, all the expectations, Big Blue Nation, and just zero insecurity putting together this roster. Zero. Like, get me guys that fit our system and get me guys that come from winning programs. I know, obviously, Garrison and Kerr came from teams that didn't win as much, but Kerr's played in big games. He won big at Arizona, and the rest of these guys have as well. And only one of those guys was really a top 20 transfer, and it was Brandon Garrison. He's coming off the bench. And so all those BYU teams that Mark Pope coached, it was always like, the sum is greater than the parts. And that's what you're seeing with this Kentucky team. And the way he's constructed it is, hey man, get me versatile bigs in Amari Williams and Carr, right? And then get me tone setters. Give me Lamont Butler. Give me Owe. Give me Jackson Robinson. And then the rest of these guys, Kobe Brea, who's arguably the best shooter in the portal, is coming off the bench. Brandon Garrison, who is the highest rated transfer out of all these guys, coming off the bench. And then like further down the bench, you got Almanor, who's the NEC Player of the Year, as like their 8th or 9th man, probably 9th man. I mean, I think it's a hell of a job putting together the roster and doing it the way he wanted to do it, and not succumbing to the pressure of being at Kentucky and thinking, man, I got to go make splashes. And even if they don't fit my system, I just got to go get a top 5, top 10 guy out of the portal just so that people can gain some respect for me in this position. He didn't do that. And I commend him for it, because I think it takes some balls to do that and not fall victim to that. Because some coaches do that, and that's the reason why they start losing, because the pieces don't fit. These pieces fit, and we'll see. If they take care of business for the next 4 games, you're talking about potentially being 8-0 heading into that Gonzaga game.
All right, let me. They played Duke. They beat Duke.
Amazing win.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind? Like what?
No. I just want to say, like,
I said they're ahead of schedule. They're ahead of schedule because they're older.
They're supposed to be. They're Kentucky, like,
right? That's what I'm saying.
They don't get a do-over. It's Kentucky. That's why they hired you. Now, listen. Let me say this, because I'm a big fan of Mark Pope. I love his system. I love what he's doing. But 3 of their 4 wins are against the 13th grade. Like, come on. Like, we're not anointing Kentucky when they have, the Duke win is good. Give me another big win that I expected. In other games, all these games they've won, they've been favored by 20 points plus. I mean, they were expected to do this. And no disrespect to those other teams, but those are bye games, and they expected to give a beat down, and they did. We're going to find out more about.
How do you feel about Iowa State? How do you feel about Iowa State?
When they get there, we'll see. But I trust Iowa State more from his in the past and what they've been than Kentucky right now. We've seen that.
But the Duke win is the Duke win. The Duke win is the Duke win.
I give him that. I watched it and I give him credit.
It's the best. Is it the best win of the college basketball season? I mean, it has to be.
It's up there.
I mean, I guess Gonzaga over Baylor, but that was basically a home game.
Basketball season.
Yes.
Like, really?
What's better? Give me a better win. They were 6-point underdogs in a neutral? I mean, give me a better one. Give me a better win, RC. What? I mean, why is he?
Release the hate. Release the hate from your heart.
It's not like
so Kentucky we're giving Kentucky. So we're giving Kentucky. This is Kentucky, fellas. Like, what are we talking about? It's Kentucky.
I didn't say they were in national championship. I was impressed with the way that he stuck to his guns and put this roster together. That was it.
I'm still waiting on a better win, man.
How much this roster costs?
I don't have the numbers on hand, RC.
Every roster costs a lot.
Let me turn
how much money did Kansas State's roster cost? Like,
we talking about Kentucky. They don't have the money Kentucky has. How much money did that roster cost? Now, again, credit to Mark Pope, because I'm not anti-Mark Pope and I'm not anti-Mark Pope and I'm not anti-Kentucky. I'm just saying, we're like applauding a damn fish for swimming. Like, what are we talking about here? It's fucking Kentucky. Like, come on, man. Like, seriously. It's supposed, that's why they freaking hired you.
It's not like
and
that.
We celebrating, like, come on, man. It's Kentucky, bro. Like, cut it out. Like, he answers the bell, he's delivering, but it's Kentucky.
He's overachieving. He's overachieving.
He what?
Already he's overachieving.
Man,
he wasn't supposed to beat Duke.
Y'all cut it out.
He wasn't supposed to beat Duke.
Okay, I give him that. He wasn't supposed to beat Duke. The game could have went either way. They beat Duke. Great. But y'all saying he overachieved? It's Kentucky. He's supposed to do that. What are we talking about?
John said he overachieved.
I did say that.
Okay. You said that.
I'm just saying, I like the fact he put the roster together the way he did. Now, my one concern with Kentucky is that, yes, their system's great. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. But when it comes down to it, we just watched it with Alabama. How many guys can put their head down and get into the paint when needed, right? Like, that is something I think is going to potentially pop up down the road for Kentucky. You know, when you don't have Kobe Bryant shooting 78% from three, right? Like, that's a potential question mark. But right now, they definitely, I mean, you look at, Auburn over Houston, right? Big win. But it's a top 3 to 5 win so far in college basketball. I'm not even sure that's debatable, RC. Come on.
We lost him. We've lost him.
No,
I mean,
you lost me when you made the comment. Listen, it's a big win. Kentucky beating Duke, it's good. It's a good. But I'm just saying, you guys are just, maybe because my expectation for Kentucky is just high. You guys are making it seem like this is the bottom team in the SEC just beat Duke. Like, it's Kentucky.
To be fair, you brought up that you glossed over the Duke win and then talked about the teams that they beat that are,
right.
I'm saying,
300 plus in
because you guys were just anointing them as that, like, they had just, and I'm just saying the expectations is like the 3 of their 4 wins is like, and you beat Kentucky. Like, to your point, there are legitimate concerns with Kentucky, and it is who gonna get you a bucket. I think you got to add Carr to that, because I think a big part of their offense is going to be Carr's ability to stretch the floor, and then when he switches, you throw it inside, and he gets you a bucket. When they get in the conference play, they'll have their adjustments, right? They'll have that. And to your point, who can create a bucket besides Otego Away? Who can get down the lane and create for himself and others and put pressure on them? I think the next guy will probably be Carr. We'll see what Lamont Butler can give him on the offensive end of the floor. When they're making shots, it's like, to me, it's like with them, when they're like Alabama, when they're making shots, they can beat anybody because they shoot it that well. But I don't want to hear about these numbers right now. Don't give me this, they're shooting 50-some% from the floor and 40 from 3. Like, come on, man. Like until we get a better resume of what this team looks like against better opponents, that's all I'm saying. But I'm not, it's Kentucky, dude. Like, it's supposed to be. Y'all know damn well them fans is expecting it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's definitely true.